Hi, I'm Dr. Rich. Welcome to the 23rd edition of this podcast. In this edition, I'm going to talk about holiday stress. This is a particularly interesting period of time in terms of religious, cultural, and historical significance. And the holidays really seem to bring out both the best and the worst in us. And much of the stress that we face during the holidays is due to values conflicts. For example, valuing time with family and friends might be very important to you, but also valuing your privacy. So those two values come in conflict often over the holidays when people are staying over for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. You might value sharing gifts as a sign of showing your appreciation, but also value saving money. And so you have these two strong values. And if you spend too much money, you might run into a values conflict. Because our values are so central to who we are as people and provide the direction in our lives, when we have two strongly held values that come into conflict, it's going to be a source of stress. And this happens a lot over the holidays. So the following 5 things might help you in dealing with these holiday stresses related to values conflicts. The first step is really to clarify your values about the holidays. And to do this, you want to finish the following sentence stem. The thing that I value most about the holidays are, and then just finish that sentence. So if what you value about the holidays is exchanging gifts, seeing friends, traveling to a different part of the country, whatever you value about the holidays, finish that sentence and write that down. And then and put as many things as you want to about what you value regarding the holidays. Then the next step is to really rank them. Put the ones that are most important to you on the top, so then what's the number 1 value about the holidays, and then followed by 2, 3, and 4. Once you have your values and then you have them ranked, then you have to set reasonable goals for your top 3 values. So it's better to really break those goals down into smaller units that you can measure, and I call those objectives. And an objective would answer the question, who will do how much of what by when? So if you wanted to use an example, let's say your top value is your family and seeing your family over the holidays. That's the number 1 most important thing you value for the holidays. Well, your objective might be, I will visit my mom and dad, my Aunt Millie and her family, and my Uncle Bob between Thanksgiving weekend and New Year's. So what you've done there is you've created who will do how much of what by when. You will visit these 4 relatives between Thanksgiving and New Year's. And it really gives you an adequate time period to figure out who you're going to visit over what holiday and kind of stretch it out over the whole holiday period. This will really give you some structure in how to spend your holiday time. The third thing that's involved in dealing with values-related holiday stress is really accepting the pain and suffering that comes along with the joy of visiting your relatives. Seeing your family more than likely is not only going to be a wonderful thing, but it's also going to dredge up some old, outdated personal scripts and mental images that you have of yourself, from when you were younger, when you were a child, when you had some issues with your parents or other family members. And really the worst thing you can do about these old, outdated scripts and mental images is try and eliminate them. If you remember anything from the videos on ACT that I did, that the worst thing you can do with these old, outdated images is try and control, avoid, or eliminate them. So what you want to do is you want to accept them. And you want to tell yourself, I'm willing to coexist with these painful thoughts and feelings in the service of seeing my family over the holidays. That's the value. So the idea is you're willing to accept the pain and suffering in the service of your value. That's why it's real important to clarify what your holiday values are, because then you're going to ask yourself to accept all of the pain and suffering that goes along with that. And while you're doing that, you really need to follow the 4th tip, which is to get some daily physical activity or exercise. If you're off at all over the holidays and you have family visiting and you've just gone through your shopping and baking and cooking, it's real important to take 30 minutes out for yourself every day and do something physical. Go for a walk, ride your exercise bike, hit the gym if you can, but really to get 30 minutes of vigorous physical activity. Because what happens when you're stressed is your body mobilizes energy and it mobilizes muscle tension. The whole idea of the stress response is mobilizing energy to fight or flee. So you want to get rid of all that mobilized energy and tension, and the best way to do it is through exercise. And then the last tip is what I call take a few deep breaths. And basically what you want to try and do is you want to try and center yourself by using diaphragmatic breathing. So when you get caught up in one of these values conflicts and you're sitting at the dinner table and just sitting there talking to your relatives brings out all these old outdated scripts and starts to get you stressed, you want to just slowly center yourself. Take a couple of long, slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths. You may want to just put your hands on your belly and really slowly inhale and try and visualize that air coming all the way down through your nose, your throat, your windpipe, all the way down to your belly, and then just feel your lungs inflate from the bottom up. And just really take your time. Take 3 or 4 or 5 slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths, and that'll really help you kind of get back in control. So remember, start with clarifying your values, set some goals based on those values, accept the pain and suffering that comes with those values, get some regular exercise, and then take a few deep breaths and center yourself. I hope you enjoy the holidays, and I hope this video has helped. And you can always go to my newsletter because this tip is actually printed up in this month's newsletter, and I'll give you information about the newsletter and the annotation to this video. So happy holidays. I'll see you in a month.